chilly Chicago, Illinois. Tonight, the Pittsburgh Pirates meet the Chicago Cubs in the concluding game of the three-game series at Wrigley Field. And the Pirates need a win to avoid being swept by these young Cubbies. The Pirates still a game over 500, while the Cubs playing good baseball. They are 12-7. Greg Brown along with John Wehner. Glad you could be with us. And the Pirates are glad that they have a young guy like Garrett Cole, who when the team is down and they don't want to be swept by the Cubs. They just swept the Arizona Diamondbacks on this road trip, John Wehner, and they don't want to be swept, so they turn to a young guy like Garrett Cole. And I think he really likes these situations.
No question he likes these situations. He wants to be the stopper. He wants to end the little skids, the little losing streaks, and he's overpowering at times. Everybody knows about the high 90s fastball, but right before our eyes, he's becoming a better pitcher, throwing more sinkers, more sliders, adding, subtracting, and really dominating like he did the last time out against the Diamondbacks. 7
2/3 innings against the Diamondbacks. So far this season for Garrett Cole, the numbers are outstanding. And John, you go back even to last year, his last 9 starts, 7-0 and a 265 earned run average.
He has really been dominant. It's been fun to see. He's 5-0 against these Cubs. Out of his 24 career wins, 5 against them, and he just keeps getting better each time he takes the ball.
It's the last game of the series against the Cubs. The Pirates' 9-game trip will continue into St. Louis, but first things first, Clint Hurdle's club wants to get the bats going. Pirates with just 9 hits, 2 runs scored of the first 2 games of this series. Buccos and Cubs are next. Pirates' first trip in to Wrigley for this season. The Cubs came to Pittsburgh last week, and the Pirates split the 4 games with the Cubbies. And we take a look at the Toyota Pirates starting lineup. Gregory Polanco leads off. Josh Harrison has the night off. Jordy Mercer follows, then Andrew McCutchen. Neil Walker hits cleanup. Starling Marte, 6 for 16 with 3 homers against the Cubs this season. Pedro Alvarez is next. Jung Ho Kang is at third base. Chris Stewart behind the plate. Garrett Cole on the mound.
They're going to face, once again, Kyle Hendricks just faced him last week in Pittsburgh. Another control guy, not going to overwhelm you with stuff. He's just going to try to go hard and soft, stay in and out, stay out of the middle of the plate, try to keep the ball down. And he's going to throw strikes for the most part. 4-pitch mix.
Gregory Polanco, first pitch swinging, and a base hit for Gregory Polanco past a diving first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Polanco, who was scratched from a start 2 nights ago with a tight groin and pinch hit last night, didn't start against the lefty Travis Wood. From the leadoff spot, singles to begin the ball game.
Had all day to think about it. When he was in that lineup leading off, thought, I'm going to go up there and be aggressive, get a first pitch fastball, hit it hard, and he did hit it hard. Rizzo could barely move. Step and a dive, the ball was by him.
Well, just underway. And you know, Polanco loves to run, and right away he goes. The ball in the air to right field. Polanco doesn't see it. So the right fielder Soler guns to first base, and Polanco is doubled off. 9-3 on the putout at first, 2 away.
I assume that's not a hit and run, although it looked like a hit and run because Polanco takes off. Jordy Mercer hits the ball the other way. But if it was a hit and run, the runner has to look in. He has to look in to see what's going on. So that leads me to believe it wasn't a hit and run. Polanco never looks. When he does look, it's way too late. It's an easy throw from Soler.
Well, 2 outs. The batter, Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen with a base hit last night, an infield single. His last at bat, probably his best in a long time. He hit the ball as hard as he has in a long time, driving it to deep center field, looking for anything that'll get him going. 1-2. And he strikes out looking. Polanco leads off with a base hit, doubled off first, and McCutchen strikes out looking against Hendricks. Got the base hit, but was doubled off. Joe Maddon's Cubs trying to sweep the Pirates. They have won 4 of the first 6 meetings in the season series. His Honda lineup looks like this. Dexter Fowler, the switch-hitting center fielder, will be followed by Jorge Soler and Anthony Rizzo. Chris Bryant, .341 batting average since coming up to the big leagues. Miguel Montero follows. Then it's Starlin Castro and Chris Coghlan. Kyle Hendricks, the pitcher, bats 8th. Switch-hitting second baseman Jonathan Herrera, opposing Garrett Cole.
Cole hoping to have another good start. Boy, he's been good so far this year and real good against these Cubs. It's been impressive to watch him, you know, how he's been changing speeds. And he always has that 96, 97, 98 there if he wants it. But he's been throwing more sinkers, more two-seamers with a lot of life, a lot of movement. Ooh, not getting a call there. Pretty close pitch.
Take another look.
WB Mason strike zone. That's it. Just touch off the inside part.
And a base hit to right. Dexter Fowler, the Pirates having all kinds of trouble getting him out. 6 for 8 in this series. On the defense for the Pirates in center field, it is Andrew McCutchen, Starling Marte, Gregory Polanco on the corners, Jung Ho-Gang and Jordy Mercer on the left side, Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez on the right side. Chris Stewart does the catching for Garrett Cole. Gong, as Clint Hurdle said today, trying to bundle some at-bats. He got him in there last night. Chris Stewart in there tonight, giving Cervelli essentially 2 straight days off. And the runner goes right away, and it's chopped right to the second baseman. Wow, the Pirates get a break, just like the Cubs got one with their the second batter of the game, Jordy Mercer, flying into a double play. Soler bounces one right to Neil Walker.
That's pretty crazy right there. You don't see that hardly ever. And to see it in both halves of the first inning, works out perfectly.
Chick-fil-A double play.
And I don't think that was a hit and run either. I watched Fowler, never looked in. He kept his head down. Not that it would have mattered.
Now Anthony Rizzo needs to strike out looking, like McCutchen just did. Rizzo 0 for 4 last night, 2 for 7 in the series. And hitting .323 on the year. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Rizzo, who's .477 on base percentage, is second best in the league behind the Cardinals' Matt Holliday. Two and 1. McCole struck out 7 and 7 2/3 on Friday night in Arizona. He had just 1 strikeout through the first 3 innings. Two 1 pitch, 3 and 1. Rivers Casino tips to win, John.
Well, last night, a ton of mistakes, whether it be by pitchers, defensive miscues, or base running mistakes. You got to limit those, and you hope to have a big game once again from Garrett Cole.
And a liner toward left center field. Playing Rizzo very deep. Rizzo's going to think about 2. And a lot of players have been doing this against Andrew McCutchen, but this time McCutchen nails Rizzo, trying to stretch it into a double. First inning action. Anthony Rizzo thrown out trying to go first to second on what would have been a double had McCutchen not gotten over, and fired a strike to Mercer.
No bounce or anything. Got that ball all the way to second in the air. Rizzo was going hard pretty much the whole way. Tried to avoid the tag, and there's McCutchen reloading the gun. What a bizarre first inning.
Man.
Teams combined to hit 500. Nobody on base. No left on base. No runs.
Let's see if this theme doesn't continue throughout this ball game. Very quick first inning. Neil Walker 0 for 3 last night. Hitting streak came to an end. They'll look to start a new one. Had a 10-gamer going into last night's game, but grounded out twice and struck out. Pirates batters struck out 10 times last night. And for the series, 18 strikeouts, no walks in the 2 games. In fact, on the trip, if you include the 3-game series in Phoenix, 5 unintentional walks the entire trip. They swept the D-backs. Down on strikes goes Neil Walker. Hendricks gets his second punch out. Central Division showdown at PNC Park on Friday, May the 8th. It's the Cardinals in town for the first of 3. Also a free shirt Friday. First 20,000 fans get a free Pirates t-shirt courtesy of Milan. For tickets, go to pirates.com/free shirt Friday. At the homestand, 6 games starting Tuesday night with the Reds. 3 with Cincy and then 3 with the Cardinals. Marte just modeling that t-shirt now. Takes the ball. He had a couple of hits and a home run last night. Now with 6 home runs. He had a play.
Talking about walks. The Cubs fewest walks issued in the National League. Just 36 on the year. 5 intentional. So they've only walked 31.
Best in all of Major League Baseball for these Cubs. Two-one count on Marte. His 6 homers trail only Adrian Gonzalez of the Dodgers and the Reds' Joey Votto for the league lead. Each man with 7.
Hendricks left that one up just a bit, but the 2-seam fastball throws a cutter. Curveball and changeup. Sinker into Marte. And when you're throwing 88, 89, 90 like Hendricks, you've got to make sure you miss off the plate in. If he misses on the inner half of that pitch, good chance Marte hits number 7.
And he'll draw the 1-out walk. Talking to Clint Hurdle about the lack of walks and the number of strikeouts, and he said, 20 games is a realistic sample size to get a gauge. We're swinging too hard at fastballs, sometimes chasing the high fastballs, and there have been some balls off the plate that we need to lay off. But the Joe Maddon's club, as John just mentioned, throwing a lot of strikes, this pitching staff, with just the 37th walk allowed. Hendricks just the second he has given up in 17 innings. Alvarez did not play last night, was 0 for 3 on Monday night. Marte 2 for 3 in stolen bases this season. There goes Marte, and it's chopped toward the right side. Castro crossing over the bag will throw out Alvarez.
I'm thinking, boy, that ball was close to being right at the bag again.
Almost identical. Moments ago, we saw the ball hit by Soler right to the second base bag.
And even there, Marte looked in late. If you're going to look in, you should look in as the pitch is coming into the hitting zone. You don't want to look in after you hear contact, because most times you're not going to see where it goes after contact.
Well, Jung Ho Gong got 2 at-bats last night. 4 hits and 22 Pirate at-bats. It's a 182 average. Two 2-0. Pirates try to strike first. Two and one. Home plate umpire Dale Scott rolls that a strike.
I didn't even see him put up his right hand. I just assumed it was a ball.
So did Gong.
Yeah. And I literally was just about to say a good take by Gong there. A cutter that ran just off the plate away.
First base umpire C.B. Bucknor. At second base, Lance Barrett. And at third, Dan Isonia.
Boy, look at those 4 pitches.
Jeez.
Nowhere close. In front of that one, you can see going to keep working him away. Took a little bit off of that one. Gung out in front.
There's a walk. 2 walks in the inning. They're not drawing a free pass in the first 2 games of the series, so Chris Stewart will come up.
Catcher number 19, Chris Stewart.
This should be a good matchup for Gung, I would think. A guy probably more like what he's used to seeing in South Korea. Not a overpowering guy, just a guy that's trying to work corners and change speeds. More of a comfortable at bat off of a guy like Hendricks. There's guys in the big leagues that you used to hear that all the time when you're faced like a guy like Greg Maddux at 350 whatever wins he had, but you didn't fear him. I mean, it wasn't like he was going to blow a fastball by you or had a wicked breaking ball. He changed speeds and had a lot of movement, worked in and out, and you felt comfortable, just couldn't hit him. Think of Maddox and Glavine with those Braves team, and those guys combined to have over 650 wins, and neither really had a breaking ball to speak of. Both basically fastball changeup.
Another strike is called. 1-2 on Stewart. Hendricks was originally drafted by the Texas Rangers, 8th round pick in 2011.
Getting another call, Hendricks. That pitch looked to be down.
Stewart will take note, expect the same, and he's called out on strikes. And he'll be thinking about that when Garrett Cole takes the mound, hoping that his pitcher gets the same calls from Scott.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. By Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. And by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks.
0-0 going to the bottom of the second inning. Flying off to St. Louis tonight, off day tomorrow, and take on the Cardinals Friday night. Trying to get out of town with a W against the Cubs. Here's Chris Bryant. Picked up another hit and an RBI against the Pirates last night. He's hitting .341 for his 11 big league games. Cole looking to go 4-0 and 6-0 lifetime against the Cubs. Not a play. Jeff Locke was not sharp. Standing next to A.J. Burnett, Locke gave up 6 runs, 5 earned, in 3 2/3 innings on 8 hits.
Chris Stewart tried to get that call. Set up away.
So it's about where Stewart got called out. So you can understand Cole's frustrations here with Dale Scott. Just they ask, be consistent.
Well, yeah, Stewart more than anybody. I mean, because Stewart witnessed it firsthand at the plate. Yeah, so he's got to be, I'm sure talking. I mean, he's not going to be a guy that's going to show up the home plate umpire, but I'm sure having a conversation about some of these pitches.
Appeal? No. So early frustrations here now from the Pirates. So let's see what Dale Scott called here. He calls this ball 4.
It's a little further out than the previous pitch.
See what Chris Stewart got rung up on.
Pretty close to the same thing. And then the third pitch of that at bat was down below the knees.
Sheesh.
That's exactly what you want. Consistency. And, when you're in the dugout, you can't tell. You can't see in and out. You can see up and down, but
rely on Chris Stewart, certainly.
Sure.
Ball 1 on Miguel Montero. Montero 1 for 4 on Monday. Did not play last night against the lefty Locke. He and Wellington Castillo have been splitting time behind the plate. And this hit in the air toward left and nearing the seats and out of play. Tonight's Barrel Automotive League leaders stat: the National League leaders in ground ball to fly ball ratio. Garrett Cole second to Jonathan Neese, and Jeff Locke is right behind his teammate. Barrel Automotive League leaders. Like to get a ground ball here from Miguel Montero. Got 1 double play already. Ball gets away, and Bryant will wind up at second base. Pirates played sloppy baseball last night in all facets. They really want to tighten that up tonight.
Hard to explain that one. Just Pedro missed it.
Right off of Alvarez's glove.
He went through it. Did he just get another glove?
Went through it.
Wow.
Wow.
There's nothing you can do about that one. I mean, that's just bad luck.
Look at the Allegheny Health Network Supermo right through the webbing.
My goodness.
That is unbelievable.
That is crazy. You just don't see that very often anymore. I don't know. Hard to tell how old that glove is, but I'm sure Pedro wants the one he's comfortable with back. When you have a gamer, when you're an infielder and you have a game glove and you're most comfortable with that game glove, you don't want to go to the backup.
Sean Rodriguez going to work on that glove. In need of glove repair man. And Stewart holds it there for an extra second. 3-2. 98 miles per hour.
Borderline pitch going against the Pirates.
Bounce to the right side, and it tips off of Alvarez's glove and allows the run to score. 1-0.
Walker's behind Alvarez, would have been able to make this play, and this is where, communication and knowing where the second baseman is, that comes into play. If Pedro doesn't get a glove on it, Neil Walker's behind him to gobble it up, and would have been able to throw it over to Cole. Good at bat by Montero, battling, fighting off some pitches and getting the ground ball to the right side. And a big break. The deflection leads to a single and an RBI.
The pickoff throw goes through the one glove, and now Alvarez has it tip off the new glove, and Garrett Cole, frustrated, knew he had an out there. On Castro, who has feasted on Pirates pitching so far this season, and he's batting .342 overall, 8th in the league.
Cole tried to get him to chase upstairs. We've seen that at times this year from Garrett. Two-seamer down, go with the four-seamer up.
Alvarez can't hold on to the ball. And that's not the glove's fault. A new glove.
That was one thing, being new over there. Not very far from the pitcher, and they throw over. A guy like Cole throwing hard, perhaps movement. At times there was, at times not tonight because it's cold and everybody's got dark clothing on for the most part, but sometimes you have white shirts in the background. The ball coming out of the pitcher's hand, you might lose it in the stands.
One ball, two strikes to count on Castro. We're now 2-2. With nobody out, a walk started it. The pickoff try that went through the first baseman's glove. Then the ball that deflected off the tip of that glove, and this one comes off the glove for an error. Castro with a dozen runs batted in. Chopped toward third.
We talked about this on the radio side last night. Castro's he's found the way. I mean, especially with two strikes, whether it be a swinging bunt, a fister, a roller with eyes. I mean, he's gotten his share of hits on balls not hit particularly hard, and with two strikes.
A strikeout, the first for Cole. Brings up Chris Coughlin. Point Park University tweet, hashtag Bucks Booth. Who was glove repair go-to guy in Rock's days?
Well, the famous glove doctor was Bob Patterson. He had his own supply of things, and he was always, the first guy you went to. And when Bob Patterson left, it was Roger Wilson, the old equipment guy, would come and do most of the repairs.
I think Bob Patterson went and actually opened up am I right? Didn't he actually do that in the off season?
He had a
shop.
I'm not exactly sure, but he had his own product.
Yeah,
he had his own products that he would sell.
Developed his own glove oil. Bullet Bob Patterson, the left-handed pitcher who would spend a lot of time repairing players' gloves. How often would you have to go to Bob? Very often, or did you have pretty good?
You know what? Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, from time to time, I used the same glove, especially at third. I used the same glove for 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 years, and so that one would need repair on occasion. Fortunately, I've never had a glove go down during a game, usually in batting practice. It's the one thing at this level, these guys, they care about their gloves. I mean, it's you make your living making plays, and you want to make sure everything's just right. And what's weird about this is as a glove, the one thing I didn't like about after a glove being repaired is it's not the same.
Once it's repaired,
it's not the same. No, it's like that leather. They're going to put in new leather, and it's probably going to be a little tighter than what the other stuff was, stretched out a little bit, and the pocket was just so. And now you put in new leather strings, and that pocket might be a little tighter, and. Yeah, and not comfortable with that. Didn't like it.
Coughlin has had some good swings against the Pirates. As Cole just struck out Castro for the first out of this inning. And now the pitch count. It's always something to watch. And 24 pitches this inning alone after that real brisk bottom of the first. Strikes out Coughlin.
By the way, do we have a player with the nickname Go-Go?
Perhaps.
That's what's on Alvarez's glove. It says Go-Go. And I don't know if it's Sean Rodriguez's glove.
Good call. Good question.
We're going to find
that out.
Go-Go.
Let's get Robbie on the case. Go-Go would sound more for Rodriguez.
I think it's on the other side by the thumb.
And now 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Hold it still, Pedro. Turn it the other way. There we go. Go-Go.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count on the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks. 1 for 7 at the plate. Missed 98. Pops it up. Going to head out of play and remain 2-2.
And whatever ends up happening in this at-bat, it's a pretty good at-bat for Kyle Hendricks. And anytime a pitcher goes up there and make your opponent work, get that pitch count up, and Garrett Cole a little more battle than he'd want.
Sean Rodriguez is nicknamed Go-Go, by the way. And there is strike 3. And 1, 2, 3 after the walk, the error, and the base hit RBI. Thanks. They're still working on the glove for Pedro Alvarez. Go-Go, Sean Rodriguez, the Pirates glove man. Here's another Point Park University tweet, hashtag Bucks Booth. Do players have many spare gloves? Are they broken in?
Oh, yeah. They all have at least one that's broken in and ready to go. I'm sure Go-Go has several for all the different positions he plays.
How many gloves would you bring along? Because you played a bunch of positions.
I used the same one at short and third, different one at second, and I had backups for both.
And why is that?
Just one break.
No, but why say? I know that. Little Abbott Costello routine here. We'll get back to the game in a moment.
The second base glove was smaller, just so you get it out. When you turn a double play, you wanted to be able to get it out, get in and out. I had the deeper pocket. At third and short, not that I played much short, but at third, the same glove I wore, and deeper, bigger glove, and that glove, when it went in, it never came out, and I hated going to the backup because I never found one that was quite as good as that one. That one was awesome, and I had a backup for second. I had the one first baseman's mitt. Did not have a backup there. I did have, I think, two catcher's mitts because I caught a lot of bullpens. Outfield I had my gamer and a backup, so I grabbed those 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 or 9 gloves.
My goodness,
kept with me.
Rodriguez.
I had many more, but I traveled with 8 or 9 gloves. And every year I would get a new third baseman's glove, and I would break it in, a new one each and every year, just to try to get it to be like the gamer. And I can never get it the same.
Polanco started this ball game off swinging at the first pitch. Base hit to right field, but when Jordy Mercer flied to right, Polanco had taken off for second and was easily doubled off first. 2-1 count on Gregory Polanco.
Pedro got the catcher's mitt.
Popped up. And the catcher Montero makes the catch. 2 down. Brings up Jordy Mercer. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Jordy Mercer takes strike one. Another guy we've talked about, along with McCutchen, hoping for a better start to this season. But we're winding down April, and Mercer's just going to have to turn it on like he did last year, and this right under the glove of the third baseman Chris Bryant. E5 on the rookie.
The Cubs took advantage of an error, scored an unearned run in the second inning. Let's see if the Pirates can take advantage there, as this ball kind of just eats Bryant up, a little in-between hop. Got those hands a little too close to his body. That's why, when these balls are hit like this, the hard balls staying down, learn to go with one hand. You get more extension. You get your feet going, and you get that glove out in front of you a little bit further if you go one-handed. You get more reach.
One and one. McCutchen struck out looking in the first.
Two pitches out of the zone, but yet 1-1 the count.
I wonder, John, I guess we could ask Kevin Roach, who's the Pirates video man in the clubhouse. Would he send word down to the dugout when he's watching what we're watching and say, hey, just let you know?
You would think.
This guy behind the plate is not giving the Pirates any breaks and not being consistent. 2-1 on McCutchen. It should be, as you see, 3-0.
And I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for Dale Scott, but different pitchers also have different movement. Some's later than the other. I mean, that may play into it.
A roller to the shortstop, Castro, who'll get the out at first, and that'll do it for the Bucks.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Malibu and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
It is 1-0 Chicago. UPMC scoreboard going to the bottom of the third inning. Jonathan Herrera, switch-hitting infielder, and getting the start at second base as the rookie Addison Russell gets a night off. Pedro Alvarez, thanks to Go-Go, the glove doctor Sean Rodriguez has his old glove back. Another Point Park University tweet. Again, hashtag Bucks move. How strange is it to switch gloves from one you're used to?
If it's somebody else's, it's horrendous. Yeah, it's not something you want to do. You don't want to use anybody else's mitt. In fact, when I first started playing first base, one of the first times I played in the big leagues was, I remember against Cincinnati, and I had to use Orlando Merced's first baseman, but I didn't have one. I played a little bit over there, a couple games maybe in Double-A earlier in the year, but I never played first other than that. And I come to the big leagues, and Merced let me use his glove, and he had me hold it, or I had to wear it the way he wore it, and he wore his first baseman's mitt like an outfielder would, and that's putting the two pinkies or your ring and pinky finger into the pinky finger,
right?
And so everything was kind of sideways. You normally hold a glove, and believe it or not, as an infielder, you catch every ball. I caught every ball off my index finger, and so now the way I put my hand in his glove, it kind of turns your hand a little bit, and you had like a bigger pocket where the web was, and so. It just didn't feel right, and it was weird. And Chris Hammond was the starting pitcher for the Reds, and he bunted to first base and popped up a bunt, and I ran over to catch it, and it hit where I'm used to catching the ball, but it wasn't in the pocket. It was kind of moved over to the side, and it bounced out. It was a bunt, it went 20 feet in the air, and I dropped the bunt. And
was this your first game as a first baseman?
First or second game?
My goodness.
I want to say it's the only error I made at first base.
Wow.
And we lost that game 8-0. And Leland lit into us and said, "I don't mind being beaten. But I don't like being embarrassed." And I'm thinking it's all just directed right at me.
I don't like guys dropping bunts, pop-ups.
Oh, it was horrendous.
Oh, man.
But I could not stand using anybody's glove. And that was the only position I ever played where I didn't have my own glove. Back then, oddly enough, I had a third baseman's mitt and a second baseman's mitt because I started playing second, but I never got a first baseman's mitt. And I didn't have a glove contract. Like nowadays, you just call whoever, the glove company is, and they'll send you out a glove the next day. But back then, I didn't know how much was in play over there, so I didn't have one. But man, that was embarrassing.
Your first and only error at first base, we can confirm, was that
a bunt that went it was the easiest play. You could have caught it with your bare hand,
Well, Garrett Cole starting to take matters into his own hand as we go to the fourth inning. It is 1-0 Chicago.
Another cold night at Wrigley Field. I'm Robbie Mikowski. When you talk about Pirates manager Clint Hurdle, he's as known for his charitable causes as he is for being a good manager. And for the 5th consecutive season, Clint Hurdle's Wins for Kids program has returned, and you can be a part of it. Visit pirates.com/wins for kids, and there are some of the things that you can get if you are able to be a part of it. This benefits Pirates charities and the Children's Institute of Pittsburgh Center for Prader-Willi Syndrome. Again, visit the website. It's been a fantastic success. The first 4 seasons of the programs, hundreds of thousands of dollars are raised. Greg and John, and you know Clint, he donates money after every Pirates win as well. Money he is certainly happy to give back to the kids.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie. Talk about a guy that gives of his time. Clint Hurdle becomes such a part of the Pirates community. And again, his daughter Maddie has Prader-Willi. Clint Hurdle, the national spokesperson. As Walker fouls it out of play. Struck out against Hendricks, who, as we said a few moments ago, was an 8th-round pick of the Texas Rangers in 2011, and the following year was dealt to the Cubs for Ryan Dempster out of Dartmouth College. The 25-year-old Newport Beach native. Dartmouth, school that produced former Pirate Mark Johnson and Brad Osmus. You were naming a couple others before the game. There's a line drive base hit into left field.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. A long way from home, too, Dartmouth from Newport Beach.
Get to the game on Thursday, May 7th. The Pirates take on the Reds at 7:05. First 20,000 fans get a Clint Hurdle gnome presented by Trib Total Media. For tickets, go to pirates.com. That's 1 week from tomorrow. That'll be the concluding game of that 3-game series against the Reds. Former Cub Mike Remlinger was a Dartmouth product. And a roller to short. They get 1, won't get 2, as Castro was slow to get the ball out of his glove anyway. And now they're talking things over here. Walker doing what he can to break up the potential double play.
Do what you can. The ball wasn't hit hard enough anyhow for Marte to get doubled up. A little bit off the end of the bat, but still always going in hard, try to disrupt that man around the bag.
Pedro Alvarez grounded to short. Marte took off for second base in the second inning, and that's when Alvarez bounced the ball to Castro. Hendricks has given up a couple of home runs early going in 2015. Gave up the Sean Rodriguez home run last Thursday at PNC Park. He went 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs. Three of those 5 hits were delivered by Josh Harrison, Andrew Lambeau, and Sean Rodriguez. The other 2, Gregory Polanco. Oh, 2.
A decent one for Pedro to hit. He's so much shorter and quicker this year. Still 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. The average isn't where he wants it to be at 222.
There goes Marte. Pitch is taken for a ball. Throw down, not close. Bounces into center field, so Marte will head to third, and he will make it there. That'll be a stolen base and an error.
Pretty good jump for Marte. Not a bad pitch to handle by Montero. It didn't get rid of it real good, and obviously not a great throw. And Castro in that situation with 1 out. I mean, you got to find a way to keep that ball in the infield. He kind of olayed it, which gets Marte to third. You see Castro bailing out of the way. Catcher doesn't like that. And now if Pedro can get one out of the infield, Pirates take advantage of the mistake.
Infield comes in and a fairly close pitch. Called a ball. Stolen base error on Montero, his second. Marte's third steal. A chopper foul. John, you don't see too many defenses like this where the third baseman actually plays like a first baseman. Yeah, Bryant is actually playing it like he's a first baseman.
Well, for one, they figured that Pedro's not going to hit many ground balls, if any, at third. And so, maybe keep Marte close, which will prevent him from going on contact. And he wasn't going on contact. Last foul ball.
Strikeout. 2 down, 5 Ks for Hendricks.
It goes to the breaking ball and starts in the zone, breaks out. Pedro out in front.
Gong walked in the second.
Now, this may be a dumb question, and I probably should know the answer to this. Being that you cannot go third to first anymore, third to first move, they call that a balk nowadays. So if there's just a runner in third, you'd have to step off to throw to third, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And for me, it is a ploy to just keep him closer, Marte, so he doesn't.
Well, your
get
point
off as
about
far.
the fact that Alvarez is he's not going to hit a ground ball that way. So,
so you hold him on, and you keep him closer, and so then you might discourage the Pirates putting on the contact play.
You're basically giving up an infielder, so that only 3 guys are on the infield. You're sacrificing one man to hold Marte at third. I mean, that's an interesting play.
It is, but in the same sense, I mean, the pitcher got to step off to throw over. So I mean, you still, if he's standing on the bag or if he's 10 feet from the bag, I mean, you could still get off like a normal lead, like you take a lead off of first base. You take the same normal lead. I mean, I think it's kind of silly he stands on the bag, but I get their point and why they're doing it, and it is going to keep them closer. Obviously, if Bryant's 20 feet from the bag, Marte can get 20 feet off the bag. If he's standing on the bag, you can still take your normal lead as if, you're at first base or what have you.
Chance for him to get out of it. If he can get Gong. Stewart on deck.
And Marte was trying to maybe get a little balk, maybe disrupt Hendricks.
And a line drive toward left center field. Gonna drop in for Gong. Ties the game with a clutch 2-out hit. It's 1-1. Jung-Ho Gong with his 5th Pirate RBI.
For the most part, he's getting worked away. His first at bat ended up walking on a 3-2 pitch. Pretty much every pitch was away. Look at this particular at bat. Everything away, away, away. And Gong, that's making an adjustment. I mean, not a strike, but to expand the strike zone that far, that's adjusting. If they're not coming in, I got to look away and try to do something with a pitch that's going to be around the outside part of the plate. That's a good at bat.
Stewart takes ball 1.
Ooh. I don't know where that pitch. I mean, Stewart can't be happy with that. That looked like that catcher Montero reached out quite a bit for that one. Look at that. And
wow.
Now this is your catcher who's not getting those borderline pitches. That pitch is 8 inches off the plate.
That's unbelievable. And Stewart actually, I mean, because he is catching, he's got to bite his tongue, but he's got to think, hey, man, let's go.
I'd have a hard time biting my tongue.
Yeah. Thanks to Jung Ho Kang's 2-out base hit. Not to harp on it, but it is an important part of this ball game because Dale Scott, for the Pirates catcher at the plate, is calling pitches like this a strike.
I mean, that is.
I mean, how does, as you said, it's hard not to say anything if you're Stewart.
You know, and you have to talk to him. I mean, there's no. I mean, you're not getting that pitch. You have to sit there and say, hey, you can go and do that to me all game long if you want. You do that to me, but you give my pitcher the same pitch. I mean, you know, Stewart's an unselfish guy. He's a great teammate, and he'll do everything he can to win a ball game, and that means sacrificing his at-bats as long as it's going both ways. But that was, I mean, blatant. I mean, you could see it live. I wasn't watching the monitor. I was watching live, and I'm like, wow, that pitch was way off the plate. I haven't seen one that obvious in a while called a strike.
2-0 on Rizzo. Rizzo, a base hit to left center field in the first inning, but was thrown out, trying to stretch it into a double, thrown out by Andrew McCutchen.
And what that does is to you as a hitter is that it makes you expand. It makes you have to swing at that pitch. I mean, if I was a pitcher, why would I ever throw a ball on plate if I'm getting that pitch? And hitting at this level is hard enough.
Two and two. Three, four, 5 men in the order. Rizzo, then Chris Bryant and Miguel Montero tied at 1. Now 3 and 2. He walked Chris Bryant to lead off the second, and Bryant came across to score.
Waste the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. And you know, if I'm Stewart, I'm going to try to get that call, especially early in counts. And you know, I'm going to try to, you know, set up on the corner at the best, maybe a little bit off.
Rizzo hit by the pitch, a breaking ball. He's aboard.
to go with the well, he did go with the back foot breaking ball. He didn't get the chase, but pretty much hit him in the back foot.
Anthony Rizzo has been hit by 7 pitches this month. That's a franchise record for the month of April for the Chicago Cubs. Ball 1 on Bryant.
Good breaking ball there, the slider. Garrett Cole. He's kind of done away with the curveball. Hasn't thrown very many this year. Didn't throw any his last start. Just 2%. On the year, threw it the curveball over 16% of the time last year. Another slider. Last time against the D-backs, Garrett Cole pretty much fastball slider, threw a couple change-ups. Throw over, I believe.
Rizzo standing on the bag. Checks his swing, or did he? First base umpire said he went. It's a strikeout. 5 Ks for Garrett Cole. 1 out.
As hard as Garrett Cole throws, you have to start early at times. And Brian, I think he had an idea that he indeed went. Not much of an argument there.
Now it's Miguel Montero. He hit the ball that tipped off of Pedro Alvarez's glove for an RBI single. Out of play. Sent along a belated happy 80th birthday wish to Bernice Phyllis of Burgettstown. Bernice turned 80 yesterday, and our good buddy Kenneth Howard Calloway turned 30 today.
Sherry Bentler celebrating birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to her as well.
Off day for the Bucks. Pete Toma tomorrow. Pete will stay here in Chicago to celebrate. The rest of the Gypsies will head to St. Louis and get back to work over the weekend.
That's right.
Happy birthday,
yes,
Pete.
Happy birthday, Pete. Enjoy your weekend. Shame you have to spend it here.
One ball, one strike. Two and one.
I'll get the ground ball. Throw that good two-seamer up there. Goal as he ponders what to throw next.
Falls behind 3-1. For Garrett Cole, start number 50. 46th start in his major league career. He's 24-12, including 3-0 this season. On deck is Starlin Castro. Well, the runner took off on the 3-1 pitch. Montero fouled it back.
Never a bad count to run on. 3-1, you figure, especially with a guy like Cole. Probably a fastball. Open a hole for the hitter. Figure he's going to be up there swinging. If he's not going to swing, probably ball 4.
Strikes off again, and it's fouled away. It's still a 3-2 count. Rizzo hit by a pitch to start the inning. Chris Bryant struck out. And it remains 3-2 on the veteran catcher, Miguel Montero. And it is strike 3, and a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Beautiful.
It's 1-1 going to the 5th inning. Garrett Cole, Gregory Polanco, Jordy Mercer facing Kyle Hendricks. And again, an off day tomorrow in St. Louis. The Cardinals and the Phillies tied at 1. Ryan Howard at his 4th of the year for Philadelphia. Cardinals 1-game lead on the Cubbies. Pirates 3 back. The Reds trail by 4, and the Brewers are 9.5 back in the National League Central. Cole 1 for 10 at the plate this season, has struck out 7 times. Of course, the place where he picked up his first big league home run last September. There's a shot, diving play made by Bryant. The ball does not stick in his glove. And that'll be a base hit for Garrett Cole.
Oh, nice hard hit ball. I'm thinking that might be a good matchup for Garrett Cole against Hendricks. He didn't throw all that hard. And good effort there by Bryant. See the one hopper? Sure if it got, yeah, it never did get into the pocket, just off the end. Fortunately for Garrett Cole, kicked far enough away as Cole going hard all the way through the bag.
He does more than pitch.
Let's see if he can get him all the way around to score.
Ball 1 to Polanco. Polanco led off the ball game with a base hit on the first pitch. Last time out, he fouled out to Montero. Lefties, it's early, but lefties are hitting Kyle Hendricks at a 370 clip.
Fastball under the hands. Polanco thought it was in. This time it catches the edge.
Keeping it in. 2-2. Righties batting only 171 against Hendricks through his first 3 starts, but again, left-handed batters 370. A bounder toward the second baseman. We get the force at second. That'll be it. Herrera to Castro. 1 out. And that brings Jordy Mercer to the plate. Join us Friday, May 8th, 4th annual Food Allergy Awareness Night at PNC Park, sponsored by Mylan. Bucks and Cardinals at 7:05. Fans with food allergies, enjoy a safe night out with friends and family in a peanut-controlled section. Tickets $30 with $10 loaded value on each ticket. Good for food and beverage. For tickets, visit pirates.com/AAN. Pirates will certainly take that trade-off, get Cole back to the dugout. And Polanco, he might be taking off sometime soon. Mercer's average now at 172. Last time up reached on the air by Bryant. First a batty fly to right, and Polanco was doubled off first as Polanco took off for second, was unaware that the ball had been hit in the air to right. So Mercer 0 for 9 in this series. And time is finally called. April of last year, Mercer hit 175. He's right about there this season. I hate to fall behind as a team or as an individual, but that's the hand you're dealt. Battle back, and that's what Mercer did last year.
He has to battle back as well, and I think it'll be a little easier for Mercer this year. Last year is a first time starting the season as the regular shortstop, and you know, you have to think that you'd be looking over your shoulder a little bit and worried about whether you're going to be able to keep the job with the slow start. But obviously the Pirates showed faith and patience, and Jordy finished up with a very strong year, great second half.
Now he is in the driver's seat with this count of 3-1, looking down at third base coach Rick Sofield.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Polanco take off here.
He goes, and it's bounced to the left side. Weakly hit, but perfectly placed, and Polanco will motor to third. First and third with 1 out.
How about that? They switched up the coverage in the infield. Castro, even on the 2-1 pitch, Castro started towards second in anticipation of Polanco breaking. And there you see he's started his way over just a couple of steps. And then when I'm looking at the replay, the second baseman was covering. So now there's no excuse for Castro there. That's just, again, that's another mental mistake by Castro.
Castro's talking to Herrera right now. It's Herrera who went to cover, but Castro went over there himself.
I mean, and it's done every pitch. There's communication between the middle infielders every pitch.
Strike one, Andrew McCutchen.
It's in between pitches, they'll put the glove up in front of their faces, and then one will have their mouth open, the other will have their mouth closed. If mouth's open, you're saying it's yours, and if it's closed, it's mine, like mine. And you do it every pitch. When there's a runner on first, and so the one thing you don't want is to have both guys breaking towards the bag, because then you create enormous holes throughout the infield.
Picked out of the dirt by Montero.
Let's see if Andrew McCutchen to make them pay. Break it open here.
Two and one. Two and one.
I can't be happy about that. I mean, that's a basic play, and it looks again like Hendricks perhaps
Watch this pitch.
could have gotten another call.
McCutchen called this a strike, Dale Scott. And that was closer than the others.
But still. Then you feel you have to protect. Now, you don't see Andrew McCutchen swing at that pitch very often, whether you're thinking you have to protect the outside part of the plate or not. But it definitely affects you when you have several pitches called off the plate like that. You feel like you have to expand and at least fight off pitches that are off that outside edge. But that one well off, and Andrew continues to struggle.
We were talking about slow starts for Mercer and McCutchen. And in terms of April, this is McCutchen's worst April of his career. He had 284 the first month last year, 247 in 2013, hit 302 3 years ago in the month of April, 219 in 2011. And Walker is hit by the pitch to load them up for Marte.
See this often. He sees it. He turns that right leg in. It's not the first time we've seen that from Neil Walker, just getting a piece of the thigh. Not a direct hit.
Chance for Marte with 3 stakes on the table, but with 2 outs. Polanco on at third, Mercer at second, and now Walker at first.
Bad pitch to hit there from Marte. Fastball up outer half. We'll see if he gets anything better to hit than that. That may be the best pitch he sees.
Oh, and 2. Second time he's been up with the bases loaded this season, and the first time he struck out. His career, decent numbers. We know that they're going to try and get him to chase again. Will Marte be disciplined enough to not swing at a pitch out of the zone? Came in. Didn't want to.
I think he wanted to get that down and away. He left it up. And I think with the bases loaded too, or just with a runner on third even, you think about, he chases. We're going to get him to expand, but then I think in the back of your mind you're thinking, well, don't bounce it. And then when you think don't bounce it, you may end up hanging it.
1 and 2. Hendricks, you see, the next pitch will be his 90th. In on him. Still 1 and 2.
And that's a case probably there where Marte may have been sitting soft, or definitely looking for something away from him. Not thinking he could see anything especially a fastball, and did a good job of fighting that one off.
Lays off that one. That was what Hendricks wanted 2 pitches back.
Set up nicely with the fastball in. Thought that he can get Marte to fish, but will hold up.
And again, plays
that
off.
One. Yeah, track that one even better. And almost as if Marte just told himself, hey, see it longer. Pick it up out of his hand. See it as long as you can.
Well, now if you're Hendricks and Montero, what do you do with 3 and 2?
If you're going to go soft, you got to think, those last couple of pitches, he was thinking chase. It's now either comes at him with a fastball, or if you go soft, if you go with something off speed, you got to throw it for a strike. You don't look for a chase, you look for weak contact.
He walked him. What a job by Marte. Falling behind in the count early, and well, he really stuck to the game plan there.
I'd say. And he wasn't, I mean, that fastball right there, I don't think Marte could have pulled the trigger, and it's very close to being a strike. We've seen pitches a little further away, but we've seen some pitches further off that outside edge called strikes. But yeah, tip your cap to Starling Marte.
2-1 as that forces in Polanco. And for a team that had not drawn a walk in the first 2 games of this series, that's the third and the biggest of the game. And now another big at bat here from Pedro Alvarez. He takes ball 1.
A lot of pitches just in the 5th inning. 94 pitches thrown.
This will be the 30th pitch of the inning. Alvarez looking for a big hit. Takes 2-0.
Marte on the year, by the way. He's been walked twice before tonight. 1 was intentional. He's got 2 tonight.
Wow. How about that?
And that was a big one.
Bullpen action, and now Chris Bosio is going to buy him some time. Hendricks, last time out against the Pirates at PNC Park, went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs. He walked 2, 5 hits. Pirates won that game 5-4. Ground ball, right side, diving play made late at second base, and the Pirates lead 3-1. Herrera, the diving stop, his throw to Castro, but Marte hustling down to second beats the throw.
And for me, that's another mental mistake by the Cubs middle infielders. You got to know who's on the bases. Marte's not being held on at first. He's got good speed. There's a good chance that he'll be able to beat a force at second base. Pedro's batting. Not nearly as fast.
They're challenging this. Joe Madden.
Yeah, it's going to go their way, I'm afraid.
Joe Madden won the first 2 challenges last night. He challenged 3, lost the last one. And the folks here watching the new big video board here. They believe Marte is out. And the question, is it overwhelming evidence?
The more I see it on the big screen here, the more I question it. What do you think?
I said before, when it takes this long, you got to have the play stand. You can't slow it down to the point where you're looking at it for 2 and 3 minutes at a time. And he's out. Well, the Cubs get the out. The Pirates have a 1-run lead.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross, Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin Furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
Joe Madden challenged, and the call was overturned about a minute and a half, maybe a minute 34 to be exact. And Starling Marte, who got credit for the go-ahead RBI thanks to the bases-loaded walk, is thrown out after all at second. And here is Castro bouncing it to third. Nice play there by Gong. Oh, a nice play on the other end by Pedro Alvarez to go up and get it.
Yeah, he got caught in between a little bit there. Obviously, more of a shortstop than a third baseman over in South Korea. And this one kind of had to retreat a little bit to get a better hop. Played it off to his side, a little bit behind him. But if he keeps coming forward, he's caught in between. And you're kind of at the mercy of a in-between hop. He gave himself enough room to glove it and show off that strong arm.
Now, here's Coghlan. Coghlan struck out in the second and lifted the other way out of play. Former Marlin. Speaking of the Fish, they lead 4-3 over the Mets in the 8th inning. Giancarlo Stanton in his 6th of the year. We understand that Matt Latos had to leave the game with an injury. He started and went 5 innings. Keep that old manually operated scoreboard up.
That's the one old thing that I don't mind them keeping. They can tear down just about everything else,
including this press box,
especially at this press box. They did. I don't know if you noticed, but they did clean it up in here. Looked like they painted and stuff.
Oh, that's why we haven't seen it. No, it's freezing. That's why we haven't seen the spiders.
Yeah, a little too early for the spiders,
but we'll see them next month when we get back.
Seems like they cleaned it up a bit.
Still 2-2. A 10 Indiana high school students from Indiana, PA are here, along with Doug and Julie Steve. Took the Amtrak out of Latrobe, came to Chicago, on hand to see the Pirates and the Cubbies. On to St. Louis for these Pirates after this game.
Who's the guy we met the other day? Bob from Pittsburgh. Saw him again today in the lobby. From Blawnox.
Yep.
He's here. And another buddy of his is from Carrick. Can't remember his name either. I think his last name was Joyce.
I'm glad we could say
They're
hi.
right below us.
Yeah. Hey, what are your names? Down on strikes. 7 Ks for Garrett Cole. Tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. The Yankees place Masahiro Tanaka on the 15-day disabled list, a forearm strain. Last year spent more than a couple of months on the DL trying to rehab from the small tear in the UCL and trying to avoid Tommy John surgery, so he's going to be shut down for a while. Also had some wrist stiffness, so they're not sure about Tanaka. Kind of rooting for him, John, because he's the. I mean, when was the last time a pitcher was told that you basically need Tommy John, and he says, "No, I'll pitch through it."
Yeah, I like it.
High in the air to center, McCutchen. As Chris Denorfia, pinch hitting for the starter, flies out. It's 1-2-3 for Garrett Cole.
Rodriguez on the left and Joe Madden on the right. Sean Rodriguez spent 5 seasons playing for Joe Madden, who's pretty well known for his unique ways. Sean told me the biggest thing he took from Madden was that you need to enjoy what this is, a game. He said the best way to describe him, and the words he used was uniquely relaxed. He doesn't want anyone to feel stressed out. Madden is known for some unique themes on road trips, having reptiles in the clubhouse, that kind of stuff. But Rodriguez said it's all in the name of enjoying what we do. Before each game, we hear the words play ball, not work ball. And Sean said Joe really takes that to heart, and that's what it was like day in and day out playing for him, Greg and John.
Robbie, we're hearing that from the Cubs players now. They are already on board with how Joe Madden does things. Very relaxed atmosphere. The only rule is to hustle down the line at first. No restrictions on sport coats or ties on road trips. Gonzalez Herman will take over, making his third appearance. Takes over for Kyle Hendricks.
I'm just wondering how reptiles in the clubhouse are relaxing.
Steve Blass would not agree with that. They're not relaxed around reptiles. By the way, Major League Baseball concluded their investigation. They ruled that the Cubs did not violate any tampering rules when they pursued Joe Madden at the end of October last year. He hired Madden shortly after he opted out of his contract. He had an opt-out clause when Andrew Friedman left Tampa Bay and became president of the Dodgers. He ended up meeting with Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. He was on his annual cross-country trip in his 43-foot RV that he called, and still calls, I guess, Cousin Eddie. Down on strikes goes Gong, named after a character in the National Lampoon Vacation movies. He was in the midst of his trip when both Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer came down, met him somewhere outside of Pensacola, Florida. Met in an area outside the beach on lawn chairs and a bunch of cold beer on hand, and they got the contract done.
Huh. Interesting.
Now Chris Stewart. After Gong struck out to start the 6th. Stewart has struck out looking and bounced to short. And line down the line and left, and a fair ball for Chris Stewart. He will head to second base with a 1-out double.
Well, I tell you what, he does a nice job. I mean, every start he gives the Pirates, he gives them the stellar defense, and that's first and foremost and probably the top priority for him. But he gives you good at bats. Game in, game out. He gets up there and puts a good swing on it. He had a couple of good at bats in Arizona. Good at bat the other night when he came in the double switch. Hard hit ball. Another runner in scoring position for the Pirates.
And the batter Garrett Cole. Cubs anticipate a bunt here.
He probably won't be bunting.
Not showing it. Strike called. He wouldn't be bunting with 1 out, but the Cubs were thinking that he might be. Now, sometimes, John, you do see that with pitchers, even though there's 1 out and a runner at second base. What goes into that thinking?
The ones that have no chance of hitting, I think. I think if you have just a horrible hitting pitcher up there, why not move him up 90 feet? You know, you have a better chance of maybe getting him in, especially with the leadoff guy coming up, maybe an infield single or something like that, by moving him up 90 feet. But if you have a pitcher that has any chance of making contact, no sense giving them the out.
Down on strikes goes Cole. 2 away. Stay tuned after the game. We're going to have an interesting program for you as we follow A.J. Burnett, Jared Hughes, and other buccos on their Mic'd Up for workouts. And learn how 9-year-old Jacob Haw helped other kids through Clint Hurdle's charity, and much more on Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network tonight after postgame on Root Sports. They're going to intentionally walk Gregory Polanco to get to Jordy Mercer. Hendricks gave up 2 runs in 5 innings on 5 hits. Mercer, who had the hit and run single in the 5th. Maybe that'll get him going, and as they walk Polanco intentionally, they can foil the strategy. Pirates lead by 1. Strike.
Appear to like it. Pretty much working the righties away.
Oh, 0-2.
There's a slider and change. Hard to tell which that was. Probably try to get a chase again.
And a line drive to center field and a base hit. Runner going to be waved home. Here comes the throw toward the plate, and he is safe on a great slide by Chris Stewart, and the Pirates lead 3-1. And both Mercer and Polanco move up an extra 90 feet.
And he got another slider, but this one was right down Main Street. Left it hanging. The 0-2 slider pretty much right down the middle. And the Cubs had a shot at throwing out Chris Stewart. There's the pitch. Middle of the plate, just above the knee. And they had a shot at getting Stewart at the plate. But as you mentioned it, Greg, a good slide. So often you see that runner in foul territory. As Stewart was there, he read the throw, went back inside into fair territory, and got that right leg under the tag from the catcher Montero.
Well, that pitch was right there on a platter for Mercer, but it has to feel so good as you take another look at Chris Stewart, who's come up big here. A one-out double. Fired up. As the save call at home plate makes it a 3-1 ball game. McCutchen 0 for 3. Jordy Mercer may be struggling at the plate overall, but with runners in scoring position this season, he's thrived. Another look. The RBI single for Jordy Mercer.
See if Andrew can open it up.
High drive to center field. Going back is Fowler toward the wall and off the wall. Fowler hits the wall hard. McCutchen will head to third. It will be a 2-run triple for Andrew McCutchen. And the Pirates take a 5-1 lead in the 6th.
And that's opening it up. Andrew McCutchen got a pitch up out over the plate. The only thing kept this in was that little breeze blowing in from center field. Fowler looked like he had a shot out there, tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch. First you see the pitch. Up, outer third. Andrew tattoos it. I think he thought he got it. Watching it a bit. You see here, the wind kind of holds it up. Fowler could have made a play.
McCutchen's first triple since September 19th of last year. Gives him his 12th and 13th RBIs of the season. McCutchen felt like he really hit that well enough to get it out of here. Now Walker. Two outs after they walk Polanco intentionally. Mercer and McCutchen deliver.
I hope that's what gets those two going. Two big, 2-out RBI hits. Boy, the Pirates, well, both these teams, really, the Pirates and Arizona, 2-out RBI after 2-out RBI. The Cubs, first 2 games of this series, have come up big with 2 outs, runners in scoring position.
Pirates are hitting .279 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs this season. That's 7th in the major leagues. Three and 1 on Walker. That was coming into this season, now updated tonight, 3 for 5, so hitting .301. And ball 4. One intentional walk this inning, and Herman now walks Neil Walker unintentionally. He'll face Starling Marte. And here comes Chris Bosio, the Cub pitching coach.
The first couple of games, the Pirates not walking at all. 6, a couple of intentional walks. Or no, 1 intentional walk, 5 walks, a hit batter. taking advantage.
Now in front 5-1. Garrett Cole.
At the plate, left fielder.
As Edwin Jackson will start to loosen up. Cole has struck out 7. He allowed 2 first-inning hits and a base hit by Montero in the second, and that's been it in terms of the base hits for the Cubs. See if Marte can add on 1 or 2 more here. Ball, 1 strike to count. 2 walks in the ball game for Starling Marte, as John pointed out after Marte walked his last plate appearance. There's a ground ball headed up the middle, and Starling Marte makes it 6-1. Picks up another RBI, gives him 17 ribbies on the young season.
You like to see it too, Marte. Until last year, hitting at the top of the lineup, now in an RBI position. You love to see him coming up with those big hits. He's going to get a ton of chances to drive in runs. And he doesn't crush this ball, just a ground ball. But you see the room he had up the middle. Split the 2 middle infielders perfectly. Keep the line moving.
Alvarez 0 for 3, the 9th man to hit in the inning. This inning started when Jung Ho Kang struck out. But Chris Stewart got it going with a 1-out double. And then with 2 outs, they intentionally walked Gregory Polanco. Mercer, the line single to center. McCutchen, the triple. It scored a pair, a walk and a single followed. Marte. 2 walks, a base hit, a run scored, 2 RBIs in the game.
Made some mistakes, had the count earlier this inning. Let's see if he can make another mistake here to Pedro. 2 strikes on him.
And popped him up. Left side, third baseman Bryant will make the catch. 9 men to the plate. Pirates score 4. Jordy Mercer right after the intentional walk. A line single. Stewart the score, and McCutchen triples to center, scoring 2 more.
I'd kick off your weekend with the Bucks and some of the best bands in the Berg during Friday Night Rocks on Root Sports. Get tuned in to Pittsburgh's music scene as we showcase local artists and tracks throughout the Friday Night Pirate broadcast. Friday Night Rocks, Friday, when the Bucks take on the Cardinals on Root Sports. It'll be A.J. Burnett Friday night from St. Louis. Fun to see all these local bands, the talent. And some neat tunes that were written specifically for Friday Night Rocks. Andrew McCutcheon had the triple to center field that scored a pair of runs. Starling Marte very much involved in the offense. And now Garrett Cole wants to come right back and take care of these Cubbies. The 31 pitch second inning.
That's a good wow to sit in between innings for Garrett. Long top of the 6th inning. See if we can get out there and have another quick one. Still got that good fastball, 96 miles per hour.
Got him swinging. It's number 8. Herrera retired. One down now in the bottom of the 6th. Greg Brown, John Wayner, Robbie Ince-Mikowski with you. The Pirates with the 4-run 6th inning to open things up a bit for Garrett Cole, who has now gone 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 unearned run, a walk, and 8 punch-outs. The Cubs bullpen giving up 4 runs in the top of this 6th inning. The Pirates in front 6-1. And now Fowler pops this ball up and out of play. Fowler has singled and bounced out. Glad you're with us wherever you are watching. Got a tweet from a gentleman watching us on, we gave the MLB.TV promo a couple innings back, from Istanbul, Turkey.
Early over there, isn't it?
5 in the morning. Packer Brown says to say hello, by the way, Rock.
Oh, nice. Hi, Packers.
1-2 the count here on a chilly night. It started game time temperatures. First pitch 39 degrees.
Yeah, pretty much identical nights. All 3 of these games in identical weather. Same amount of breeze blowing in.
Speaking of identical, I swear that coat you're wearing is identical to what we saw Bob Walk wearing the first 2 nights. Where, did you guys go shopping together?
No, Bob's very generous.
Oh, that's his coat. I thought you two got a 2-for-1 deal or something.
I gave him $18 so we could share it.
Half the cost of the coat. The windows are closed there. He and Tim are just fine. It was nice of Bob, though, to loan you the coat.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, sitting here before the game.
Is it warm enough for you, that coat?
Oh, this is a great coat. Yeah, well worth the $18.
Stylish. Tim saying it's hot in there.
Well, that's a lie. It's not hot in there either. They got these little electric heaters under here. You've better chance warming your hands on a cup of coffee.
Ground ball right at Neil Walker.
Nicely done.
2 outs in the 6th. Again, Cole has allowed just 3 hits. Dexter Fowler led off the first inning with a base hit to right field, and then he was going on a pitch to this man, Jorge Soler, and Soler bounced it right to Neil Walker, who was covering the bag for a 4-3 double play. Anthony Rizzo followed with a base hit to left center field. McCutchen came over, cut the ball off, and threw out Rizzo, trying to stretch it into a double. In the 2nd inning, Chris Bryant led off with a walk. He went to second when a pickoff try by Cole went right through Pedro Alvarez's glove for an error. There's a line drive right at the shortstop, Mercer. And another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Cole. This day in Pirates history is on this date in 1934. The Pirates beat the Reds 9-5 at Forbes Field. First game played on a Sunday in Pittsburgh. The city became the final major league city to host a game because of Pennsylvania Blue laws. Gus Surr and Paul Wainer each homered and had 3 hits for the Buccos. Greg Brown along with John Paul Wainer in the booth here. Right?
Yeah.
All right, just double checking. Edwin Jackson now facing Jung Ho Gong.
You have to look it up.
Your middle name?
Yeah.
No. I remember that from Buffalo days. I thought that was so neat. I remember when I first met you, and I think your mom, down at Pirate City. I think I saw that in your bio. I thought that was so cool that your middle name was. I even asked her mom, like, did you name him after a former Pirate? Paul Wainer. She said, no, you idiot. She didn't say that, but she could have. She should have. It's W-E-H-N-E-R, not W-A-N-E-R.
I doubt she knew who Paul or Lloyd Wainer
was.
Oh,
come on. She's a big Bucco fan. And there's a liner to center field for Jung Ho Gong. How about that? He had an RBI single in the 4th that tied the game. He walked in the 2nd, and here he delivers a base hit to start the 7th. Home fans for Jung Ho Gong. And when Garrett Cole went back to the dugout, it's a little pat on the back and a handshake from Clint Hurdle. It's as though Cole not thrilled about coming out of the game, but understands it. And what a finish for him. 8 in a row, 14 of the last 15. Just typical Garrett Cole, ace-like stuff.
No earned runs again, and yeah, it's. I don't know if he had his best command or not, but still, it's overpowering stuff. It is obviously a ace, #1 type starter stuff, and he's on a bit of a roll.
There it is. And keep in mind, the 3 hits came in the first 5 batters he faced.
You know, these starters, they want to be the guy. They want to be that guy that stops any kind of losing skid. It's just a couple of games, but still, you don't want to go any further than that.
He put his foot down, as Clint Hurdle likes to say. 5 batters reached for the Cubs tonight for the first 5, and the only other man was Anthony Rizzo, who was hit by a pitch to start the 4th. Cole retired the last 8 straight, 14 of 15, faced the minimum over the last 4 innings, and strikes out a total of 8 batters. Archimedes Caminero is going to be coming on for the Pirates. You saw Lambeau waiting on deck to pinch hit for Cole.
And I'm sure it's probably working out nicely for Clint Hurdle too. I mean, he probably, you know, if Cole had his pitch count down a little bit, you know, maybe he'd run him out there for his 7th. But
Gong takes off and ends up with a stolen base.
Montero had a shot.
Would that have been called from the bench, or do you think that he's Gong on his own?
I'm guessing that was called from the bench. I'm guessing he got the seal put on.
I mean, he's got.
You can see he's looking in right away too. So, which usually would suggest hit and run. You see there that Stewart taking. It would lead me to believe that Stewart knew that it was a straight steal, not a hit and run.
Fly to right. And Solera showing off that arm of his. Bullet toward the infield.
Stewart, he was taking all the way to get Gong into scoring position, and then he tried to hit the ball to the right side, tried to get on top. Unfortunately, he hit it in the air, but that's the way Stewart plays his game. He's going to give himself up to try to move the runner over, but just didn't get out there deep enough. But I was saying, as far as Cole goes 6, Caminero hasn't pitched in a while. I'm sure Hurdle wants to get an inning out of him. Watson hasn't pitched this series, so
you get the off day tomorrow.
Yeah, so you get your Caminero, Watson, and Melanson an inning of work.
Yeah, really part of the game plan here for Clint Hurdle. Going to work out, getting those men some work. By the way, we asked Clint Hurdle about the rotation because of the 2 off days, the off day tomorrow and then the off day Monday, wondering whether they might skip somebody and keep, for example, Cole on going to get him 1 day's rest and maybe have him start the opening of the series against the Reds. But he said that they're going to keep everybody in line, so that means Locke would pitch Tuesday to open up that series against the Reds. Garrett Cole would pitch Wednesday night and A.J. Burnett Thursday night. For Francisco Liriano, his start is Saturday afternoon in St. Louis against John Lackey. 1 ball, 1 strike on the pinch hitter Lambeau.
Andrews deserving of a base hit and RBI here. He's really put together some good at bats. Just hasn't had much luck.
Strikes for the 2nd out. Francisco Cervelli, because of the off day tomorrow, gets 2 straight days off. He'll be ready on Friday night in St. Louis. As the Pirates will oppose Lance Lynn. A.J. Burnett will be on the hill for the Bucks. The first showdown with the St. Louis Cardinals. The season series begins Friday night. And again, those Redbirds will be coming to Pittsburgh the following weekend. So get your tickets at Pirates.com.
Always fun going against the Cardinals. You know, it's interesting because we had a little rivalry thing, a little thing going back and forth with the Brewers and the Reds, but there's kind of like a mutual respect for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You don't have really hatred. you may have, or ill feelings, I guess I should say, with the other two teams, but fun to play. Always matched up in close games for the most part.
Starting to get the feeling that the Pirates-Cubs series is going to start becoming that.
The Cubs are certainly being noticed, and it's going to make it a little more difficult on everybody in the division. Where it used to be, you look forward to go and stack up some wins against the Cubs. They make the division much more difficult. You would think it would, the number of wins in the division might not be as many as we've seen in the last couple of years. Although the Brewers are kind of falling into the Cubs.
Yeah. After that horrendous start, though, they did win today. They beat the Reds. Ryan Braun hit 2 homers. One was a grand slam. The Cardinals have a 5-2 lead over the Phillies in St. Louis, as Polanco continues to battle Edwin Jackson. Gong, base hit, stolen base. At second base with 2 outs. Two. Polanco on base a couple of times, a couple of runs scored. Base hit to start the ball game, intentionally walked last inning and scored. As Jordy Mercer himself, a couple of hits and an RBI. Tapped foul. The Nationals had the big comeback last night with the 9th inning home run by Dan Uggla off of Jason Grilli. They pounded the Braves tonight 13-4.
Offense was struggling.
That wakes them up, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Bouncer foul.
Dan Uggla, too. 5 RBIs, the big 3-run walk. Was it a walk? No.
No, it was in the top of the 9th inning last night.
And all the struggles he's been through over the last couple of years, and he was still struggling. He's playing a whole lot, but struggling going into last night.
He had a hit tonight, still batting 196. He did drive in a couple more runs. And Polanco goes down swinging. 7th inning stretch here at Wrigley. Pirates leading 6-1. Cat Williams at Aldred Ice and the former Bears lineman with the traditional "take me out to the ball game."
He didn't mean it when he said "go Cubbies." He didn't mean it.
It is more like Steeler Bear weather. UPMC scoreboard. Pirates leading 6-1. Little rivals there. Archimedes Caminero facing Anthony Rizzo.
Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
NFLer. And Caminero, 11th appearance, 0-1, 3.72 ERA, 11 punch-outs in 9 2/3.
And he takes care of Rizzo at 99 miles per hour.
The breaking ball, the previous pitch, and the fastball right there. Just blew it by him. Rizzo frustrated with himself, but 99's 99.
Bryant touched up Caminero at PNC Park last week. Said he had seen him in the minor leagues. Helped him a bit.
I'll tell you, that was pretty impressive. The Cubs hitters against Caminero. Solaire's first pitch fastball at 100 that he turned around down the line. And that's nearly impossible. And then Bryant followed that up.
Double to center field, nearly homered.
Yeah.
That at bat off Caminero. But Caminero looks like a different guy here. They're not touching him. Oh, brother. 100 miles an hour. Caught the corner at 100. Forget it.
And again, the timing, I mean, major league hitters at times will be able to get to guys that throw this hard, but I mean, everything has to be perfect timing-wise. And a little two-seamer just off the outside edge.
I guess, John, I go back to asking the question I've asked before about the difference between an Aroldis Chapman, who you cannot touch, and he throws as hard, obviously, as Caminero, but we've seen at times hitters, as you just mentioned, can turn on his fastball. But tonight he looks, well, just as I say that, there's a 99-mile-per-hour fastball that's dropped into center field by Montero.
Certain guys you can see a little bit better than others. Movement certainly plays a part. You'll hear Clint Hurdle and Bryce Sears talk about downhill angle. This one right on the inside corner, a little bit off the hands, but fisted out there. Yeah, nobody's going to hit it consistently. But like I said, if everything's just right, timing is just right, you can get the barrel to it, you can get the bat head to it, but it's not going to happen consistently.
Castro, who has struck out and grounded out. Caminero in his first season with the Pirates. Wave and a miss.
And that's what you have to do usually, because everything started early. You guess. Get the hands going. Against a guy like Caminero, the one thing you can't do is look soft, because you'll never be able to touch the fastball if you're looking for something off speed. You can look for the fastball, gear up, start it early, and hope to recognize a breaking ball and take it.
Fastball, a slider, the splitter. This one at 99 is popped up on the infield. Alvarez will make the catch, and Archimedes Caminero has a scoreless bottom of the 7th inning. T-Mobile game changer. We'll make it plural. Game changers. How about this? Right after they intentionally walk Gregory Polanco, Jordy Mercer rifles a single to center field, and the next batter, Andrew McCutchen, with 2 aboard, a triple. It brings home Polanco and Mercer. Pirates score 4 6th-inning runs. Our T-Mobile game changer, 6-1 Pirates. Maybe this game tonight will get those 2 going. Mercer hitting that 2 spot. Lineup rearranged with Harrison getting the night off. J.Hay usually leads off. Polanco hits second. Mercer down in the lineup, but back-to-back nights in the 2-hole. One ball, 2 strikes.
Looking at the pitch, missed in to Jackson. He wanted it away. And the 1-0 pitch looked to be away again. And so I'm kind of watching where Dale Scott sets up behind the plate. And you see Montero sit out. Look how far away Scott is from, instead of getting behind the catcher,
right,
maybe get a better look at that outside part of the plate. And he's, kind of stays on an inside part. Some umpires will just try to stay on that left shoulder of the catcher.
There's a line drive to left field. Hit it right on the button. Mercer is retired. Hey, okay, guys, whose jacket is it? This is a hashtag Bucks Booth. Thanks for this tweet. That's a great one. Whose jacket is it? Bob Walks or John Wainers? Someone is asking who wore it better is the question. What do you think, John? You think you wear it better than Bob?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I know it's the last time I wear it.
Really?
It is Bob's jacket. We'll come clean. Bob's
mine. It's mine.
He says he wore it better. I know that's what he's suggesting.
Well, it's a very, very nice coat. It's got a lot of attention this series. I don't think I've ever seen a coat get this much attention, and I know I haven't, in fact.
I know
it's record-setting.
I'm just saying it's toasty. It is very nice.
Toasty.
Very, very nice. I brought a winter coat the last trip, thinking I'd need it.
Think we'll need that in a couple weeks when we return to Chicago?
If we do, I hope Bob brings it.
Maybe just leave it in the booth for the next crew. Are the Cubs home tomorrow?
We should warm up.
We really should get a hanger and just put that thing up there for the whole year for any announcer that wants to wear that. All right, so we'll check out, see where the Cubs are here.
Leave a cup.
Pat Hughes would like it. He's got the nice sweater. Ron Coomer, there they are on the radio side. Yeah, they host the Brewers this weekend, so we would like to leave this coat in the booth for Uke or Joe Block, maybe Brian Anderson,
Bill Schroeder.
Ground ball and a diving stop by Bryant. Gets to his feet, throws to first, and a safe call at first base. It'll be a base hit for Andrew McCutchen.
Again, maybe this is what gets McCutchen going. Mercer, a hard hit ball. McCutchen, another hard hit ball. Bryant, the throw was probably going to be in time. As you can see there, Rizzo couldn't hang on. And McCutchen with his second hit.
That's a big hit for Andrew McCutchen. 1,000 for his career. 33rd different player in Pirates history to collect at least 1,000 hits. All coming with the Pirates. Johnny Ray is 32nd on the all-time list with 1,009. The last Pirates player to pick up each of his first 1,000 career hits in a Bucco uniform, Jack Wilson. That came in 2007. So a milestone tonight for Andrew McCutchen.
Man, he got there fast.
And a wild pitch. Wow, this one caroms off the brick and then rolls along the third base dugout.
Fastball. Montero stays up. Gets through the legs of Dale Scott. Let's see if Neil Walker can join in on the RBI parade here.
Line drive off the glove of the second baseman Herrera, recovers and still is able to get Neil Walker.
Right on the button. Neil Walker hits it hard. And it's hard not to as a hitter. After you hit a ball hard, you see it's right at him. You kind of let up. And then once you let up and then drop it, you got to pick it up again. And it's kind of hard to get there. Andrew McCutchen.
Back and forth. Line drive off the glove. Now Marte. Scoreboard, by the way, here at Wrigley. Bright lights recognizing Andrew McCutchen, 1,000 career hits for the fans that remain here. Marte, a couple of walks, a base hit, run scored, a couple of RBIs. McCutchen, 1,000 career hits.
First time the fans here in Chicago has ever seen such a thing, I'm sure.
Yeah. Brand new scoreboard. His career, Andrew McCutchen, now in his 6th full year with the Pirates. A career that started in 2009. 2 years ago, of course, the MVP in the National League. And we've talked a lot about the slow start. But you can pretty much guarantee that McCutchen is going to put up strong numbers once again. He's been as consistent a player in the National League as any.
You have to wonder, does anybody have more?
That stretch.
Jason Steele, since Andrew got called up, has anybody had more than 1,000 hits? I'm sure Jason will give us that answer by the bottom of the eighth.
Marte down swinging. Pirates lead 6-1.
Presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here is Tony Watson facing Chris Coghlan. Cole 6, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. Caminero 1 hit in a scoreless inning. And now Tony Watson.
Seems high for Tony Watson, a 3 ERA. With the opening series against the Reds, the 3-run homer he allowed.
This will take some time off of Coughlin's foot. Ankle.
Never feels good. So 4 guys have had more hits than Andrew McCutchen since he's been called up. All spent a good bit of their careers in the American League. Miguel Cabrera, Robinson Cano, Adrian Gonzalez, Billy Butler.
That's surprising, isn't it? Cabrera with 1,127 hits during that time. Robinson Cano, 1,119. Adrian Gonzalez, 1,039. And Billy Butler, 1,031.
So nobody in the National has collected as many hits as Andrew.
Gonzalez, a couple years in Boston, so not all his years in the National League. Let's hit the other way. Gonzalez is off to a strong start this year, though. Agon hitting .377, 7 homers, 18 RBIs. Oh, he's hit another homer tonight. Dodgers lead the Giants 4-1. There's a roller to first. And Alvarez, the easy play. Watson takes care of Chris Coghlan.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch hitting for the Cubs.
And now it'll be David Ross to pinch hit. Just 13 at bats. Miguel Montero and Wellington Castillo do the bulk of the catching for these Cubs.
Except when yeah, not bad.
Lester?
Lester, yeah. Why couldn't I think of his name? He just catches Lester, huh?
Yep.
Keep 3 catchers. That to me is crazy.
So one guy can have a personal catcher.
What happens when he retires? Somebody else going to have to catch him, right?
Yep. How about the fact that the Pirates play the Cubs 7 games in less than 2 weeks and missed Lester both times?
That's amazing.
Easy K for Watson. Jonathan Herrera coming up. Our Nissan road ahead. We head toward May on Friday, taking on the Cardinals in St. Louis. That next homestand, go to Pirates.com, as the Reds and Cardinals will be coming in starting Tuesday night. And then back on the road to Philadelphia and right back here to Chicago. Herrera now batting right-handed. 0 for 2.
Just kicked out of Chris Stewart's glove. Went upstairs with the fastball.
Phil Koch going to pitch the ninth. Three-quarter swing, almost got it past first. It remains 0-2 on Herrera. Pirates 4 outs away from salvaging the finale of the series and then heading to St. Louis with a 4-2 mark on this road trip. A.J. Burnett Friday night against Lance Lynn, Francisco Liriano against John Lackey Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon it's Vance Worley against Michael Wacha. Rob Scahill giving that young fan a souvenir, and a base hit for Herrera. I'll give him some credit. Line shot past the left side of the infield. Watson, they call him the Iceman on this team. And we've watched him pitch. You understand where that comes from. Never, ever shows any emotion whatsoever.
Demeanor never changes.
Nope. Ball, one strike. Fowler batting right-handed. Against Cole, he was 1 for 3. And it's 1-2 now.
Something off. That's what's amazing about Tony Watson. I mean, he's always had the good fastball, explosive. He can locate it up, down, in and out. Throws the breaking ball a little more. The changeup, but can command both those pitches just as well.
Yeah, line drive, base hit to the left. 2 on with 2 outs.
You don't see that very often. Guys turning around his fastball, let alone back-to-back guys.
It's 6-1 ball game, but 2 on, 2 outs, and the batter is Jorge Soler. Soler has hit into a double play, struck out, and lined out to short. He was the last batter that Garrett Cole faced in Cole's 6 innings of work. And Cubs fans making some noise now as the Cubs look for a late rally. Now the play, wow. Now way back and will leave the field.
Big cut. Soler was thinking of making it close in a hurry.
Soler. Watson retired the first 2 men. Ground out on a strikeout, but Herrera a base hit to left. Fowler a base hit to left. Two and one. Pirates are going to get Jared Hughes up in the bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Tony Watson with the fastball strikes out Soler. On to the 9th at Wrigley. Pirates up 5. Hawthorne Heights coming to stage AE next Monday night. Pirates will be off next Monday. They'll be off tomorrow, and hoping they'll be talking about a big victory over the Chicago Cubs. Josh Harrison, Corey Hart, Sean Rodriguez not in the lineup tonight. Figure Jay Hay will be back on Friday. And this is a line drive base hit into right center field. That's going to scoot toward the wall, so Alvarez will get a couple. Leading off the 9th inning with a double against the left-handed veteran Phil Koch.
Good stuff. Pedro not wasting any time.
Third baseman.
First pitch swinging fastball. Middle. Pedro likes the heater. Gets it, gets extended. Now everybody in the starting lineup with a hit. 10th appearance, 5.40 ERA for Phil Koch. 364 batting average against. Pretty high.
Young has had a productive night, on base 3 times. Two balls, no strikes. This is one area, by the way, the Cubs probably will be looking to shore up as the season goes on. If they stay in the race, Joe Maddon's club figures to score some runs. You've seen this potent offense now. Young hitters, Chris Bryant, Soler, Anthony Rizzo, now Addison Russell in the mix, Castro having a bounce back year. Fowler's doing a fine job in center field. Starting pitching pretty strong. Bullpen might be a question.
Fastball rifled toward right center field, and Jung Ho Kang is going to hit this one off the wall in right center. And into second base with a double. And what a game from the man from South Korea.
Boy, oh boy, that was a rocket. I think he thought maybe it was going to leave the ballpark. That little bit of breeze keeping it in the ballpark. Fastball up and out over the plate. Man, that's the power. Gets that foot down early enough. Gets extended.
Off the wall in right center field. The double brings home Alvarez. Young on base for the 4th time. He is 3 for 4. 2 RBIs, a stolen base, and a walk. And the Pirates lead 7-1. And there's a soft liner off the tip of the glove of Herrera. Chris Stewart with a base hit.
And again,
the approach, you love it, right?
It doesn't matter what the score is. He's thinking of a teammate. He's thinking of the guy behind him. I'm going to move him up and give him an RBI situation. I'm going to do what's best for the team and hit the ball the other way. Even though it's a 6-run Pirate lead, you can tell he's trying to hit it the other way. And he's rewarded. Thought for a moment it was going to stay in the air long enough for Herrera to make a diving play, but just gets by. So a couple more hits for Chris Stewart.
Now Sean Rodriguez pinch hitting for Tony Watson. Pirates leading at 7-1. Nobody out in the 9th inning. Hit hard, but right at the shortstop. 6-4-3 double play. 8-1. 2 outs.
Another hard hit ball. You get up there as a pinch hitter, you come up cold, you look for a fastball, and you take your hacks. And Sean Rodriguez just got good wood to it, but rolled over it a bit.
Now Polanco. Polanco has scored a couple runs as Gong back there with his translator, H.K. Kim, Todd Tomzik, the head trainer.
That big bases clearing double he hit last week. It had to do a lot for his confidence and get him feeling more and more comfortable at the plate.
And right at Rizzo, he'll keep it himself. The Pirates add on 2 more. 3 more outs. Mark Melanson will get some work.
Pirates will make their final stop on this road trip. They'll head to St. Louis, catch the Buccos and Cardinals starting Friday at 7:30 with Pirates pregame presented by W.B. Mason on Root Sports. Current standings, Cardinals lead the National League Central Division. As we said, coming into tonight's action, a game up on Chicago, 3 up on the Pirates. The Reds started the day 3.5 back. They were 8-3 losers to the last place Brewers. The Cardinals have defeated the Phillies 5-2. Sean Rodriguez stays in the game. Go at glove over at first base. He's working on Pedro Alvarez's first base. Well, actually, I guess it's Neil Walker's first base mitt that Walker gave to Alvarez. Ball 1. In case you missed it earlier in this ball game, Alvarez had a ball go right through his glove on a pickoff try by Garrett Cole.
Getting some work. 11th game. 5.79 the ERA. Good curveball there. He dropped in. Get ahead of Rizzo, 1-2.
Cole will go to 4-0 on the year and continue the great numbers. Pirates get 3 more outs, so Cole would go to 6-0 lifetime and 6 career starts against the Cubs. Checks his swing and appeal. No, says Nana Sonia. To September 7th last year, Cole would go to 8-0 and an ERA about 2.5. And there's the shift. 3 infielders on the right side. Jordy Mercer throws out Anthony Rizzo.
We talked about it earlier before the game. Garrett Cole just getting better each time out. Early on, to see him, just pumping fastballs in there, 4-seamers, lighting up the radar gun. And it seemed like almost every start, go back to 13 last year. Garrett Cole throwing more breaking balls, throwing more 2-seamers, working both sides of the plate.
Bryant walked against Cole. Oh, 0-2. It's a strikeout, and right off of Stewart's mitt, Stewart throws to Rodriguez to complete the K.
3 strikeouts now for Bryant. He's mortal. You know, he was so locked in against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. But all of them struggle.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting to see. They all struggle. Now, how do they react to the struggles?
Yeah.
Do they bounce back quickly? What will Bryant do if he goes through any kind of a prolonged slump?
Chasing this high cutter. He's underneath it.
Strike on Miguel Montero. Pirates offense showed up here tonight. 8 runs, 14 hits, a 3-hit night for Jung Ho Kang. 2 hits apiece for Jordy Mercer and Andrew McCutchen. And everybody in the starting lineup, including Garrett Cole, had at least a hit. Garrett Cole in his 6 innings allowed 5 base runners. 4 of the first 5 men he faced reached. 3 hits and a walk. And the only other man was Anthony Rizzo, hit by a pitch leading off the 4th inning. 0-2. See if Melanson can end it right here. One and 2.
So much been talked about Mark and the velocity of that cutter. Still able to get guys out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Pirates up 8-1 on the Cubs in the finale of this 3-game series. Montero not giving up just yet.
Even with that velocity at 88, you see that late movement, the cutting action that gets in on the hands, late swing. Saw the awkward swings from Chris Bryant on the same pitch.
And bounced and beats that shift. Montero's 3rd hit. 4 at-bats. As the lone RBI. Base hit off the glove of Pedro Alvarez in the 2nd. Brought in Chris Bryant. The unearned run against Cole. So it's Starlin Castro. Cole's ERA, by the way, is sparkling 176 after tonight. Strike is called. A.J. Burnett, speaking of ERAs, his ERA of 180 ranks tied for 7th lowest in the league. And he's coming into tonight. Now Cole ranks in the top 10. Runner takes off. Pirates pay no attention to him. He takes 2nd base uncontested on defensive indifference with a comfortable lead. One ball, 1 strike. Castro was 0 for 2 against Cole. He popped up against Caminero. And a big cut. 1 and 2.
Got the curveball. He's looking for the cutter. Looking to hit about 400 feet was Castro.
Raise it at Wrigley. The Pirates defeat the Chicago Cubs. And a pretty good thumping over the Cubbies. Jung Ho Kang contributed. Andrew McCutchen, the 2-run triple. And the Pirates collecting 14 hits. Defeat the Cubbies 8-1. A great end to this series with the off day tomorrow in St. Louis.
You come in, you expect Garrett Cole to be the stopper, to put an end to the 2-game skid, and he certainly pitched outstanding once again, just the 1 unearned run. But you got to be impressed with Clint Hurdle after a couple of losses to sit some guys like Josh Harrison and you put Gung into the lineup, move Mercer back up to the 2nd spot, not start the starting catcher Cervelli, put Stewart in there, and to see the guys come through. As you mentioned, McCutchen, obviously, the couple RBIs, Mercer with a couple big hits, but Jung Ho Gung getting an opportunity to start, and 3 big hits. Got to be happy. Complete win tonight for the Bucks.
8-1 the final. Back to the studio. Robin Teague.